I mean, let's face it, we're all manifesting a lot of things that we don't want to experience, right? We manifest suffering, we manifest pain. So we know we're not doing that consciously. And so what I'm saying is, observe the mind without judgment. What's arising in that mind is not you. You are the one watching it. What it is just a bunch of programming that's acting itself out. Am I making sense?
Yeah. I think most of us realize that this is not an overnight thing, that this takes time, and it touches on what Jordan was saying, that for me at least, I found that it's repetition. That when I used to beat myself up over something that I said or did, or a mistake I made, or I blew up over something, a kind of behavior that I didn't like about myself, how I reacted. Consciousness is huge. Most people don't realize that the fact that you are conscious about your behavior and something you'd like to change is a huge step.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most people are unconscious, just walk through life and don't change anything ever.
Yeah.
But if you are conscious about something, that is a huge step. And then the next time it happens, over time, it's just repetition that you start to get better and better, and your brain starts to change, and your reactions start to change.
And it works both ways too. There's also repetitively beating the crap out of yourself. Whether you realize it or not, you probably don't, but you are adding to your conditioning and your programming of your mind unconsciously. A lot of really negative self-talk, negative core belief system. And we practice that. And we're not even really aware that we're even practicing that. And we want to bring awareness to what's happening here. Observer, attention, observed. Observing what my mind is doing in this moment. What is my mind doing in this moment? Even in your own words, you're saying, I can't get my mind to calm down. I can't get my mind to relax. My mind won't shut up. You know in your own words that there is a my and there is a mind. And the my has a mind. And the mind is coming off the rails. And the me can't do anything about it. True?
True. I found it helps sometimes when I'm having a totally irrational thought, and it's usually ending up where, I'm feeling small, or unloved, or, hurt or something by a moment, something that was said or done. And when I'm feeling small in that moment, I know you say sometimes, I think about things you've said to us where you can either shine the flashlight on it or not. And to just go with the flow of what feels right. Like sometimes you have to take a look at why you're feeling a certain way. Mm-hmm. And there were so many times where I took a look and I'm like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I reacting? And I would have an epiphany that this was stemming from something in early childhood, with my mother or father, or, screaming, or, the abandonment, being kicked out of the house, in a moment's notice, all
right.
of us. Thrown out on the street, or the fear, the irrational fear that might come up out of nowhere over
or like
something.
the post-traumatic stress.
Right, and then I would see where it came from, and then it just poof went away.
Yeah, because you bring consciousness to it.
So sometimes it helps to shine that flashlight on, but you'll be the judge of when it's right and wrong for you.
It helps. Sometimes you need to know what it is that you're letting go of. It's hard to let go of I don't know. And they call that a vasana, like a very deep identification with a thought or a belief, right? And so sometimes when there is a vasana, something really working on you, you need to do some cognitive work. There's value to the cognitive work. But ultimately, though, you will just let it go. It's just a psychological formation in your mind that you're suffering. Something that happened many, many years ago, affecting you today, the only way that it can affect you is in the form of a psychological formation, which is a gangle of thoughts and feelings that are attached to those thoughts. And particularly those feelings can really provoke those thoughts. And then those thoughts provoke those feelings. And then pain, and then negativity, and pain and negativity. And you get in that, that addictive negative thought cycle. Which is just really no fun, but it's only happening in your mind. It's only happening in your head. And so I'm saying, remember to just observe this. Just observe what's happening in your head without judgment. You're just consciously watching. Going, that's interesting.